Are you ready to party? It's MoKan's 63rd anniversary, and we're celebrating with nitro-powered mayhem. All the stars of the DMP Awnings Nitro Chaos Series charge into MoKan Dragway Friday night and Saturday, July 18th and 19th. 2 days of ground-pounding, 200-plus mile-an-hour nitro-powered drag racing. It's Nitro Chaos at Smokin' MoKan, presented by Grand Prix Auto Sports Center. Get you up and under our free. Get the info at MoKanDragway.com, and we'll see you at the Chaos.
That brought to you, of course, by our good friends at Comp Cams, Stamps Family Farms, Larice Motorsports Insurance, and Driven Racing Oils. Making a ton of horsepower and make a ton of smoke. That is Brian Coleman from Caledonia, Wisconsin, as we are live with the third and final qualifying round, Nitro Chaos, brought to you by DMP Awning and McKinney Motorsports. On the live stream from MoKan Dragway, it's going to be the Street Fuel Coupe against the AA Fuel Dragster. Brian Coleman on the right side of the racetrack in the Redemption Motorsports lane. First alternate on the qualifying list right now, as they had their troubles yesterday, managed a best run of 798. Gary Wheeler, your 2023 champion in Nitro Chaos, has his car qualified number 8 in the A field with a 445 best from yesterday at 113 miles an hour. Both teams looking for some improvement. As the tree flashes amber, it looks like we've got some improvement in a big-time fashion. Look at this, 383 at 204.27 miles an hour, as we've got 4 parachutes in the breeze in the shutdown area, and we've been looking for this run all year long. Look at that on the Redemption side of the racetrack. That is a street-legal fuel coupe out of Wisconsin. Brian Coleman just rocked the world with a 465, 159.35 miles an hour in a street legal 1931 Plymouth Chrysler Coupe. Wow. An incredible step up in performance for both of those teams. They came into this final qualifying round knowing that they wanted to make a statement. They wanted to get themselves up on the qualifying sheet, and boy, did they ever come through. Coleman goes from a 7-second run, almost 8-second run, and drops it down into the 4-second zone, the 465. Brian and Jerry Newman and that group have really got a lot to smile about as they go 465 and put a good number on the board in that street legal machine. Gary Wheeler goes 383. So the 383 will take them all the way up the list from number 8 in the A field to number 3 in the A field. That's the run that they were looking for yesterday, but did not find until this afternoon. And they found themselves a big number, and they now sit number 3 in the McKinney Corp A field on that qualifying list right now. So the first pair down the racetrack, they are off the top end. It looks like it's time for our second pair, and it is going to be another cool set of cars. We've got Dave Hill, your points leader, the Mad Max Mustang out of Valparaiso, Indiana. They're going to be on the tower side of the racetrack with their big Hemi-powered machine. A beautiful ride and a family-owned operation. Dave and his wife, Norma Hill from Valparaiso, Indiana, their family, son Ryan and his wife, Shannon, also known as Mad Maxine. You can see their crew is all decked out in the Mad Max shirts. Rick Kraft and company hoping to put a big number on the board as they need one. Strong burnout on the O'Reilly side of the Christmas tree. And it's going to be Mad Max and Moparius Maximus. Got a lot of Max going on this track right here, right now. Moparius Maximus from Muscatine, Iowa, a 1963 Plymouth Belvedere with that Max Wedge 459 cubic inch Chrysler engine with the supercharger and the fuel injection. Yesterday, Larry Grenko, best run, had him number 7. He's now been bumped back to number 8 in the CP Carrillo B field. Consistent mid 5-second performer, so they're hoping to step it up just a bit in that Nitro door car on the Redemption side of the racetrack. Now, Dave Hill, they put up 478 on the board yesterday, but they've had their trouble getting that car to hook up and go all the way down the racetrack. We've already seen a couple of cars go down the racetrack, both sides with big improvements. So we think the track conditions are right for a big number. Dave Hill on the way down the tower side. He's keeping it off the wall and off the stripe, and he goes 402, 163.8 miles an hour, almost into the 3-second zone. And they're feeling pretty good about that 402 as they softened up the tune-up, and they put a 402 on the board, and that is much more like it. Larry Grinko has got a 563, so he matches. Actually drops 400s off their best run from yesterday. So we're seeing everybody coming out and improving their performances. So Dave Hill with the 402 and the Mad Max Mustang has got that group feeling much better about things as they will head into the first round. We now have 5 cars under 4 seconds. And that means Dave Hill is going to be in the number 6 qualified position in our A field, at least for the moment. Man, we're seeing the great performances here this afternoon. Live stream audience, happy to have you joining us. Want to remind you that this live stream broadcast is presented by Comp Chem, Stamps Family Farms, Larice, Motorsports Insurance, and Driven Racing Oils. Show them some love, race fans, as they have really come and they put on a great show, and it is time to shine, and they are doing just that. Live stream audience, I want to let you know that our eliminations tonight will start at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It will be available exclusively on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel. So I'm not sure where exactly you're watching it right now. A lot of you are already on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel. However, if you're watching it on Facebook or through another outlet, it will be available exclusively in eliminations, 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel. So make sure that you are at the right spot. Attention in the pits. I need my Midwest front engine fanatics to staging lane 3 and staging lane 4, please. Your next opportunity to go down the racetrack is coming up very shortly. Midwest front engine fanatics, looking for you in the staging lanes, lane 3, lane 4. Saturday afternoon, the 63rd anniversary. We got one more Nitro car coming up. It's going to be the Bushwhacker, Cody Austin. Appears they're going to be running that car down the right side of the racetrack. One of those 3-second performers, they put a 397 on the board. They came into this qualifying round number 4 and find themselves number 5 at the moment. Going to see if they can put this car through its paces, and I don't know. Maybe they're going to be content with number 5, but knowing them, I'm not sure I would go with that argument. So Cody Austin from Pflugerville, Texas. His dad, Jody Austin, many-time champion and 3-time champion in Lone Star Forklift Outlaw Fuel Altereds. Also has a couple of wins at the World Fuel Altered Nationals in the A field. So they know their way down the racetrack, and they have certainly put up some big numbers at this racetrack. And Jody's driving the funny car on the IHRA circuit right now, and Cody Austin is driving the Bushwhacker this weekend. They are in the hunt for a championship, so they want to make sure they get this car down the racetrack, collect those 5 points, and if they can move up from number 5 to a spot a little higher, maybe a lot higher. All those points in qualifying definitely add up, as there's only one more event after this one. And how you finish this race is going to have a lot to do with how you feel going into the championship finals at Mid-State Dragway in Havana, Illinois, coming up in the first weekend of October. Dean Dubbin and the team at DMP Awnings have got you covered with the finest awnings for race trailers, hospitality trailers, sales and display trailers, motor coaches, RVs, and more. Dean's a racer himself, so whenever you are wondering about do they have the knowledge to help you out with your race team awning, well, I can answer that emphatically yes. Cody Austin with a big smoky burnout down that right side. They'll do a short burnout. They will back it up. They will put it back in the forward gear, and he will bring that baby up for a quick trip down the Redemption Motorsports lane. DMP Awnings. That team does their own fabrication, graphic design, large format printing, and lots of support. They've got you covered at DMP Awnings. That's dmpawnings.com. Or you can reach Dean Dubbin and his crack staff in Little Falls, Minnesota at 320-237-0509. Jody Austin takes his last look at the motor before sending his son to the starting line. Lots of fun out there in the Bushwhacker pits as they have got the virtual reality experience. If you want to take a ride in the Bushwhacker through virtual reality, go buy a Bushwhacker shirt and they'll let you take that ride for free. At the starting line, Cody got his hands full and he pedals it out there about 500 feet. He goes 4 flat, 144.93 miles an hour. The 60 foot on that one, if you thought it looked quick, you were spot on. Good eye, 925 60 foot and a 247 to the half track point. You talk about that's the quickest 60 foot and half track that we've seen all weekend. And so Cody had to get off the throttle just a little bit early as he had only one wheel on the ground, sometimes only 2 wheels on the ground. Kind of hard to steer him that way, but they put a very nice 4 flat on the board. They will stay number 5 on the qualified list, but they come in here proving that they've got the consistency that will help them get A to B in this elimination round coming up. How about some love for the Bushwhackers? Okay, race fans, here's what coming your way. We got the Ride Drag Shows, that ultimate thrill ride coming for you here momentarily. And we have got that second round of the Grudge match between the Cuddy and the Armless Archer. So lots to see. We have got plenty of action coming your way here on Saturday afternoon at McKinney Dragway. Celebrating 63 years and happy to be bringing you this live stream coverage on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel. This weekend is Nitro Chaos race number 15 since the invention of Nitro Chaos. And it's actually Chaos franchise race number 75. What could have been just a one-race deal. What could have been just a one-race deal is turned into something that's lasted quite a while as we are in year number 8. And we have got this event. This is the 75th Chaos event. So I think it's working. I know we're having all kinds of fun. Hey, I see how y'all are today. This supercharged car is getting the workout. The loud American car taking folks for that ultimate joy ride at over 150 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds. Team out of Tulsa, the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, making satisfied customers for year after year. Get yourself signed up for the ride of a lifetime. Proud American Motorsports. That could be you. Rocketing down the racetrack in 4.45 seconds at nearly 160 miles an hour. Lots of fun on a Saturday afternoon. Go ahead and get yourself signed up so that you are sure to get your opportunity to take that joy ride in the rumble seat of one of the Proud American Motorsports ride dragsters. And if you don't want to actually go that fast, we got the opportunity for you to take the virtual ride in the Funny Car Simulator. It's located right over there by the front of the staging lanes. Go by and check out that funny car. It says Showtime. You can hardly miss it. That is a beautiful wrap from Kryptonite Customs in the Oklahoma City area, as they have done a bang-up job on that baby. It looks awesome. So we'll move now into our next class. This is our Midwest Front Engine Fanatics. All about some open cockpits, motor in the front. You'll see roadsters, you'll see alters, you'll see dragsters. Mostly you're going to see that you woke up in Coolsville. Shan Weston from Joplin, Missouri. That's a 225-inch wheelbase front engine dragster with 555 cubic inches of big block bow tie power. Got the cool vehicle, tow vehicle. Going to follow it down the racetrack on the tower side. Scott Drager from Neosho has got the 27T Roadster, that left steer machine. Brought to you by God's Garage Ministries, Truck Guts, and Speedy's Auto. As they start on the 410 Pro tree, we've got a 522 left side with a 564 on the right side.
Well, David's going to get back to his record keeping, trying to keep track of the points implications from what we saw there in our final qualifying session. Hey, a reminder, with our live stream, our pre-live stream will be exclusively on the Chaos YouTube channel. So be sure and tune in, tell your friends and neighbors about it, as we will be exclusively broadcasting on that channel. Here's Lee Markham, Roger Patterson off the run. Here is part of our Midwest Front Engine Fanatics. Left side 578, 117 for Lee Markham. Roger Patterson 535 at 127. Freddie Gunham, Bentonville, Arkansas, left side. That's an older style front motor dragster. Little small block sitting out there in front of the driver there. And Doug Kaufman right side with the blown 331 Hemi. The wraparound body configuration there on the Kaufman Automatics machine. Just having a little fun here on a Saturday afternoon. 582 at 119 for Freddie. Doug, right side, goes 566 at 126. Here is Roger Gunham, Bentonville, Arkansas. We just saw Freddie go down on the left side. Roger right behind. PJ Krapke, right side, Bethany, Oklahoma. 1968 vintage front motor dragster over there on the right-hand side. These folks were out playing a little bit last night, getting their chance once again. Cool thing about this group is every time they run, everybody runs. So you'll see them multiple times today as they get out and play as a group. Looks like Roger's going to get there first left side, and he does. 579 at 120 for Roger Gunham. Pete Kratke, 601 at 118 miles an hour. Kevin Lowry, the K&J chassis machine. How about that sparkling helmet there, just like a disco ball? Got the old Deist style fire suit with the pie slicks. Stands that thing straight up in the air and heads to the other end. 787 at 86 miles an hour. How about the cool tow vehicle right behind there, the chase vehicle? Nomad wagon on the run down there on the left side. So that is a cool setup right there for Kevin Lowry. Drake Thomas, a.k.a. Squeaky. The Wallback machine over here. I'm sorry. That's way back. The Wayback machine over here on the left-hand side of the track. Pleasanton, Kansas, the home. Race car is 60 years old. 1965 race car over here on the right-hand or left-hand side. Small block Chevy out in front. He calls it Squeaky. For Thomas Sport Motors and photography by Chesney. He'll ease it off the starting line and head to the top end. 6:57 at 106. All right, it's match race madness coming at you right now. John Andrade, the Cuddy, over here on the left side out of Yukon, Oklahoma. Starting his burnout. Here the turbocharger spinning up underneath. The bomb over here. The Cuddy out of Oklahoma taking on the artless archer himself, Mr. Matt Stutzman. You saw him 45 minutes ago out there on the starting line. And the Olympic gold medalist shot that balloon at 330 feet. Well, that's not the only thing he can do in that lane. How about the Alliance Camaro Top Sportsman machine over on the right? This is a no-time race. And Andrade's going to get a 1 second head start over here on the left. But it's a full race to the finish line. And yep, Matt, just like with his archery, he drives that with his feet. An incredible accomplishment right there. Over on the right-hand side, I started saying incredible feet, but yeah, but that he has incredible feet. Let's put it that way. So Matt, in a car that's capable of going over 200 miles an hour in the quarter mile, out here an 8th mile trim. John spins up the turbos. He is off. Go. Here comes Matt Stutzman on the chase. Can he get him at the finish line? He does. He gets there first and takes the win. That'll even it up from last night. John got the first round. Matt clipped him at the top end. So they are 1-1 for the weekend. Matt with the win today. We'll get to see them once again later on. Pretty incredible run there for the armless archer, Matt Stutzman. Here's Randy Forrester out of Fort Scott, Kansas, the 69 dart for Don's Spirit and Wine and Velocity Tactics, Fort Scott Munitions. .69 dart. Squats down and heads to the other end. 6:45 at 105 for Randy Forrester. All right, race fans, we're going to take just a little bit of a break here to give our crew a chance to get themselves refreshed. So hopefully in about 10 minutes, we'll be back to racing action. But if you want to head out of the grandstands and go grab something at one of the local concession stands, get yourself something good to eat or keep yourself hydrated, this is a perfect opportunity to do it. Also, as we get ready to start eliminations here in just a couple of minutes, if you haven't done so yet, you may want to head back to the pit area and check out all of these race crews making the thrash, getting ready for round number 1 of eliminations in Nitro Chaos. Our final qualifying happened about half an hour ago, and the field was shuffled just a little bit as some folks made their best pass of the weekend to shuffle the order to set our lineups going into round number 1 of eliminations. And again, that'll be about 5 o'clock today. And for you folks that are watching online at home or here, wanting to tell your friends that aren't here how to watch, it is being broadcast exclusively on the Chaos YouTube channel. So our live streaming producer tells me that our in-venue camera, our pit camera right now, is back in the pit areas watching the live thrash in the Gary Wheeler Grand Prix Auto Sports Center front motor top fuel dragster as they are getting set for round number 1 of eliminations. So Gary was the inaugural champion of the series. In 2023, when we started out, he was the inaugural series champion and looking to see if he can claim a championship once more. The points battle is still ongoing among all of our Nitro Chaos competitors. And again, qualifying counts in points accumulation, so there would be a little bit of a shuffling. Then once we go into eliminations, you can accumulate up to 63 points on a race day if you are the number 1 qualifier. and you go all the way through eliminations, and you made all the qualifying rounds, that can accumulate you 63 points and make a big move in the point standings. And I see David Ratton over here he's looking it over. He's ciphering, and he's got his shoes off, and he's counting on his fingers and toes and scribbling notes over here. And it is super tight at the top. It looks like 5 racers with almost 10 points separating from 5th to 1st. So, and we got more than 5 racers that still have a mathematical shot at a championship. So that's pretty incredible in itself. So once again, we're going to be down for a few minutes for you folks watching online. Hope you enjoy the in-venue, the pit camera going on in the Wheeler pit area. We're going to move that around a little bit throughout the day here so you can get a live look in at lots of action happening in the pit area. In the meantime, we're going to stand down for a couple minutes as our crew takes a well-deserved break, and then eliminations will be coming up in just a minute.
Tension in the pits, tension in the pits. We have had a phone turned in, so I know that most of us have those surgically attached to our fingers, so I'm not.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
Qualifying round was going to make some interesting news, and it has definitely done that. At the conclusion of qualifying, it shakes out like this. In the McKinney Corp A field, you've got Jake Sanders, number 1, John Umlauf, number 2, Gary Wheeler, number 3, after they rocketed up the list with that beautiful 383 from this third and final qualifying run. Aaron Morrow, number 4, Cody Austin, number 5, Dave Hill, 6, Donnie Massey, 7, and Anthony Whitfield, number 8. Now, here's what that means. In the first round of eliminations, number 1 qualifier takes on number 5. That is 2 of our racers who are pretty much on about the same place on the list. Not exactly correct, but Cody Austin has number 3 on the points list and number 5 on the qualifying list. His opponent in the first round is going to be Jake Sanders in the Menace AA Fuel Dragster. So Jake Sanders will take on Jody Austin in the top of the ladder. Well, that match there will feature number 3 in points, Cody Austin. Number 2 qualifier, John Umlauf, is presently number 2 in points as he is 5 points behind Dave Hill. Umlauf did not choose to make a run in that third qualifying round and gave up those 5 points. And rather than that, he went with the 7 points for the qualifying position of number 2. Now it shakes out like this. Number 2 qualifier and number 2 in points, John Umlauf, takes on number 6 qualifier and number 1 in points, Dave Hill in the Mad Max. There are 5 points between them in the points. There's 5 points difference between a winner and a runner-up in a round. So the points implications of that first round pairing between Umlauf and Hill, there's a lot on the line right there. Number 3 qualifier, Gary Wheeler, is going to be taking on number 7 qualifier, Donnie Massey. Wheeler has moved up to number 5 in the points. And he is has the possibility of being in contention for his second championship, as he is not far out of first place. He is 12 points out right now, but depending upon how it goes with his competitors and how it goes with him, it could certainly have some interesting implications. So Wheeler versus Massey in the bottom half of the top half of the A field. And number 4 qualifier, Aaron Morrow in the Nitro Relapse, going to be taking on number 8 qualifier, Anthony Whitfield in the Mighty Mouse 2. Whitfield, presently number 10 in the points at 81 points. It'd be a stretch for them to get to the top 5. However, it's certainly possible depending on what happens with their competitors. So Aaron Morrow and Anthony Whitfield will be racing each other in the first round of the McKinney Motorsports A field. Now, over on the B field side of the ladder, you've got number 4 in points, James Gilliland. He's 8 points out of first place. His opponent, Keith Jackson, in the CP Carrillo B field. Number 2 qualifier, Dave Gallegos, taking on number 6 qualifier, Jeff Krug. Number 3 qualifier and defending champion from last year's B field, Mark Hunter, going to be taking on that Street Fuel Coupe, Brian Coleman, who put that amazing number on the board, qualified number 7. And Chuck Lofton qualified number 4 in the Crapshoot Funny Car. And number 8 qualifier lines up next to number 4. So Larry Granco is going to be in a match against Chuck Lofton. More to come on that, I'm sure. So that's how it shakes out, and there's certainly some interesting things that will happen in the first round. So the drama is getting thick and pretty intense here, as we knew that it would. It's both years that we have had the Nitro Chaos Championship Tour. It's come down to the last race, and it has been an intense battle, and it is going to be no different in 2025. If anything, it might be a little bit closer. But there will be some very scrappy contests in the first round because the implications that come from it are absolutely huge. So that's the update on qualifying, as we have 2 full 8-car fields. And we've got our track staff on a break. They've been working hard all day long. Every once in a while, you got to give those guys a break so that they can be ready to finish the day with more racing action yet to come, and they've got to be in position and on their toes, as safety is job 1 at Mocan Dragway.
I didn't even hear about it. I didn't even hear about it. I was pulled up in the morning. But I opened the door up and I just reacted. Somebody started to come. Just got the door. He was over there. They knew who he was down the street. There was 4 of them. Drug deals on both. Well, this one was, it was an old radio station where they ran. The owner, whoever taking care of the radio station now, was cleaning the hands up.
All right. Crew says they're just about done with the break, so we're going to start calling it foot break. Foot break, lanes 2 through 7, come on down. Foot break 2 lanes for Crystal Racing Engine, round 1 of the nations. Andrew Goff, you're my way to see by you, lane 1, please.
I was going, you're all right? Because they were standing in the street. I didn't. He goes, we just didn't get up the door in time to knock. Get the guy out of the way. And they seen him. When I opened the door. One of them. They even offered to, and I took it. my fault. Because like I said, I've never shot but one police officer goes, "What's wrong? Don't worry. I'm fine." I said, "How'd you do the door?" Body hold me. We all never
Race fans, we knew that that was going to be an eventful qualifying round. We didn't know how many cars were going to go down the racetrack. We knew some needed to, and we knew some that wanted to make sure they got all the points that they could get. And some folks, some of the teams apparently figured it was better to sit out and just let it play out as it would, and hope that their qualification numbers held up to keep them up there at the top of the ladder. And that certainly worked out well for the Psycho 2 team, and it's not worked out too bad for the Umlauf team. So the pairings are set, and we will be getting that officially announced in a little while. But Lee, we had I've got Lee Kraft up here in the tower, and of course he is bringing you that quality content all the time for Chaos Live and the Chaotic Conquerors of the Chaos, and all the great content that you've come to expect from Funny Car Chaos. That particular qualifying round, Lee, has yielded some drama, as they say in Australia. It yielded some drama, as we have got some pairings in the first round that really could upset the apple cart for some of our teams.
Absolutely, David. You know, that session, not that many cars. We were kind of expecting that. Most of the folks are going to be prepared certainly for E1, but even though the car count for that last session was low, the importance after that session is high of what we're going to be looking forward to in eliminations. So many things on the line. You know, it's July, yes, but this is the penultimate race for this series. When we show up there in Havana, Illinois at Midstate Dragway, that's the last race. So everyone is in a scramble right now to get all the points that they can muster. It is a tight fight right here at Smoke and Mocan this weekend.
Yeah, we are up to the minute on the points, as we just did the quick tally of the points. And Dave Hill, they still find themselves number one in the points, as they have got 150 points. And they are 5 points ahead of number 2, John Umlauf, at 145. Umlauf is 1 point ahead of Cody Austin, who's in the number 3 spot at 144, and James Gilliland 2 points behind there in the number 4 position at 142. Gary Wheeler, 138 points, 12 points out of first place. And Jake Sanders moves up to number 6. And Chuck Lofton down to number 7. Brian Inoue not here, but still number 8. And Paul Schultz number 9. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Anthony Whitfield. No, I'm sorry, it's Brian Coleman, as he's got 85 points, and Anthony Whitfield number 11. So depending upon how round one goes, the way it plays out in chaos competition, a win in an elimination round pays 10 points. A runner-up in an elimination round in chaos, that's worth 5 points. So the thing about when you don't get a win, you stop accumulating points. And so depending upon who wins these first round matchups, it will make a lot of difference, because you get to keep going. First of all, you get 5 more points than someone who doesn't get a win, but then you've got an opportunity to get at least another 5 points when that next round comes around, and it could be up to 25 points if you go on and win the event. So we knew that it was going to be a shuffling of the deck, and it has definitely been that. So at the end of this race, we go into the championship finals at Havana, Illinois, coming up in October. It could look altogether different from how it looks right now.
Absolutely, David. And looking at the ladders just delivered to us here in the tower from Tara Graves, wow. Number 2 qualifier, John Umlauf. Number 6 qualifier, Dave Heel. That is number 1 and 2 in the points. Round 1 of the McKinney Motorsports A field. That is a major matchup in round one.
Yeah, you talk about your marquee matchup. That is a whole lot of the season in a nutshell right there, because depending upon how that goes, that is going to create some excitement, shall we say, for that championship finals. And also with Jake Sanders and Cody Austin. Cody Austin, number 3 in the points, is just 6 points out of first place. And what happens with those two guys above Cody Austin? One's going to win and one's not. And so we'll see how that plays out. Now, one of the things about it is we know that several of these teams, if they get their setup right, we've seen them go 3.6. And so if they're able to do that under today's conditions, I don't know, but we've certainly seen some good performances. So it's certainly possible that that kind of things could happen. But I think the big thing is going to be A to B, get the car down the racetrack A to B. And, because you can't win if you're pedaling it or if you don't go down the track.
Yes, Dave Hill, for example, that number 6 qualifier, that is not a car that we think as a 4.02 elapsed time car. We think as they performed back in Edgewater for race 3 of the season, number 1 qualifier type of team and race car. It gives us an interesting matchup, certainly with John Umlauf. That team, they seem to have everything worked out with that altered, that bump matters even back at Edgewater. I don't think they've got any issues. 376 last night. And then Jake Sanders, I imagine he wishes he didn't miss Eddyville this year. You never know. He might still come rocketing back if he performs well and really make it tough there at Midstate in Havana. Already a win on the season, big win there at the Funny Car Chaos Classic at the Texas Motorplex, a runner-up at Edgewater, both in the McKinney Motorsports A fields. So, Jake, at large, for sure.
Yeah, I'm telling you, whenever you look at Jake Sanders with 127 points, just hypothetically, if he was to come away with another event victory, that would be 157 points. Depending upon what happens with those above him in the points, it could be they could be right back in the hunt. Now, is that likely? Not exactly sure. I'm going to turn it back over to Craig Blanton to announce our racing as we have got cars on the track once again here at MoKan.
And right director 5. hereby we see by in box round 1. Let's get the rest of the box. Come on down. Watch the features. Come on down for round 1 of elimination. Box lane for your first round of elimination, please. Very, very small breakout stuff there. Gate runners will go on. Flyback window in. Junior flyback. That would be around
790 heads up drag race as we've got Sophia Boland on the tower side and Chloe Peak on the pit side. And they're trying to relight that car on the pit side of the racetrack. Got to watch those fingers, watch those toes. Got the extra starter up there to see if they can get it fired back up. And they do. Chloe Peak, Carthage, Missouri. Sophia Boland, Williamsburg, Kansas. We are in our first round of eliminations. That is brought to you by our good friends at Driscoll Racing Engines. So, great sportsmanship on display right there as the car on the right side given the opportunity to light it back up. Drivers into the pre-stage position. And now they're staged. The Active Time Christmas tree will send them on their merry way with green lights on both sides of the Christmas tree. It's a heads-up drag race, and at the top end of the racetrack, put a wind light on the pit side. And that Redemption Motorsports lane 792 at 81 miles an hour beats a 780 at 84.27 miles an hour. Once again, we want to thank those of you watching on the live stream for tuning in to the 63rd anniversary event at McKinney Dragway. We're going to cut away for a little bit, but we will be back with first round of Nitro Eliminations exclusively on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel. That's coming up at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in tonight's eliminations round.
Race fans, get ready. The inaugural Fuel Over Chaos rocks historic Tucson Dragway Friday night and Saturday, November 14th and 15th. Round-pounding fuel outfits from across the country go into 200-mile-per-hour combat with historic names like the Mob, Rat Poison, Bradford's Fiat, and Sheepherder. Take on new school hitters like Cone Hunter, Witch Doctor, Blown Scentless, and many more. See Lunacious Backup Girl, Header Flame, and Run What You Brung. Drag racing like Tucson hasn't seen in decades. Kids 12 and under are free. Visit TucsonDragway.com for more information. November 14th and 15th. Be there!